nasty work. You know what I need? I need every year to end off with an Uncle Murder recap. And I think I need every year to start with a Cat Williams interview. All right. Because when we get that Cat Williams interview at the top of 2024, you talk about prophecy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's getting so dark and ugly out there. I done seen this guy that made bail already too, man. He look too old to be going through this. But hey, if it's your time, it's your time. And if you did wrong, you did wrong. So let's get into this, y'all. We're going to play this video, and there's a bunch of things we got to stop and pause during and talk about, y'all. Bear with me.
Good afternoon. I'm Breon Peace, the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. Thank you all for joining us today. With me today are James Dennehy, Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's New York Field Office. We have Deputy Chief Carlos Ortiz, Commanding Officer of the NYPD Special Victims Unit. And we have my office's outstanding prosecution team, Aaron Reed, Megan Farrell, and Philip Pilmar. We're here today to announce the arrest and charging of 3 defendants: former CEO of Abercrombie Fitch, Michael Jeffries, Matthew Smith, and James Jacobson, on charges of sex trafficking and engaging in interstate prostitution. Powerful individuals for too long have trafficked and abused for their own sexual pleasure young people with few resources in a dream of securing a successful career in fashion or entertainment.
Real quick, y'all, I think it's real important that we say former, right? This is the former CEO. Now, the face that's in the thumbnail and the name that he just said, well, one of the names, the top name that's going around the internet, and then he named 2 other people. I believe one of them might be his partner. And the third person, I got to do a little bit more research on him. But the main person, the main name, the biggest face of all of this was a former CEO of Abercrombie Fitch. Why is it important to say former? Well, for Abercrombie Fitch, it's probably definitely important that they see everybody out here saying former. Like, he ain't with us anymore. But Abercrombie Fitch is not off the hook. I saw a report already that stated that this guy stepped down in 2014. If you know corporate America, what percentage rate do these people just step down? For example, Diddy with Revolt, right? Like, did that article and that report come out like, yo, guess what? He just got lynched or he got fired or tossed to the wayside? Like, I don't know if that was the details with Diddy. I don't remember hearing that big headline or nothing like that, but it's very, very common. It's like when the company has a lot of respect for you, or when you put in a lot of work, or when you like a CEO or a big VP level, or even if they just want to avoid headlines, right? It'd be like oh no, I'm retiring or I'm stepping down. No, you got approached. This is damn near a layoff. This is damn near firing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't just be stepping down. And this is why I say Abercrombie Fitch, like, they're not off the hook here. They are named all throughout this indictment, obviously, former CEO of Abercrombie Fitch. Abercrombie Fitch is going to be approached by the feds. They're going to get asked those questions. Hell, if we could ask those questions here on this podcast, what do you think the feds is going to ask? And they've been sitting and putting this investigation and this indictment together for God knows how long. You want to know the first question is, hey, Abercrombie Fitch, what made him step down? What brought about y'all departure from this CEO that put in all this work with Abercrombie Fitch and you as this billion-dollar franchise company? What made y'all separate? Why did he step down? Somebody go ahead and give me some feedback, talking about like, well, technically he ain't stepped down. You know, there was a lot of things that was happening. We didn't heard this and heard that, and we had a couple complaints, and a couple young men and ex-retired models was coming our way with accusation. Speaking of accusations, there's a whole nother. I could do another one of these later on today or tonight. There's already a prior. Let me say allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been skating around the internet and I've been picking up on things quick. There's already a prior model or somebody that already was in one of these predicaments that involved Abercrombie Fitch alleged CEOs or workers or staff right? And he's saying that he's involved with a class action lawsuit going at Abercrombie and Fitch, right? So they have to have already been knowing stuff was circling around them. And this is the feds. The feds play a whole different a ball game. The people in some of these or in the indictment, right? Or some of these people that stepped up, it's over like a dozen that stepped up with these accusations. Some of them, when it came to this CEO, this nasty alleged guy that's doing all this crap, this sex worker stuff and whatnot, and they signed NDAs. You hear that? You hear how crazy that sounds? They signed NDAs and got paid behind what was going on behind the scenes, allegedly. You know what that means to me? You know what that's another reminder of? The feds is the feds. The feds is the feds, man. There's a lot of things that they could just supersede. NDA, what does that mean? You take that NDA crap to some civil court. This is federal. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Hey, Abercrombie and Fitch, I want to know why he stepped down. I want the paperwork behind that. I want some answers. I want to interview a couple of people. Somewhere along the line, somebody gonna say like, yeah, keep it real, man. Now that I'm sitting here in this office with y'all and y'all putting pressure on me, I'll fuck around and get in trouble. Got my Coca-Cola, got my McDonald's. All right, I'm ready to talk. Step down. Yeah, that was just a cover-up. He never stepped down. Duh, they never do. What was it? It's a bunch of accusations with some guys and, you know, some civil lawsuits or whatnot that we was facing. We had to pay a couple people off here and there. And we told him, we done with you being affiliated. Go ahead and step down. Nice and clean. Avoid headlines. That's how it go. That's how it go, man.
To anyone who thinks they can exploit and coerce others by using the so-called casting couch system, this case should serve as a warning. Prepare to trade that couch for a bed in federal prison.
I can't even tell y'all why I laughed right there. Quick stop again. Well, whether quick or not, y'all know what we here for. We here for podcasting. Let's talk. Casting couch. Y'all know what a casting couch is, right? People in the chat, y'all know what a casting couch is? Put it this way. I don't know if the casting couch is a term outside of the porn industry. That's the only place I know it from. Okay, what a casting couch is in the porn world, you know, if you ever seen a casting couch porn type of scene, it's like the girl is sitting there on the couch and she's showing up as if she's trying to interview for something. And the people behind the camera, they put her through sexual acts as if that's part of the audition to get whatever type of job, to become a further porn star, to get some other type of job. Like they'll create like these scenes and like, you know, in the porn world where it's just like, all right, this girl's on the casting couch to be a movie star. Matter of fact, hold on. Whose daughter did it? It was a big celebrity's daughter. Chat, help me out. Whose daughter? This was like within like the last 3-4 years or something. Black girl. Was it Samuel L? Allegedly. Whose daughter was doing them? I'm gonna keep my eyes back and forth on the chat. But anyway, so the casting couch thing, like you could like do fake fan. There you go. Thank you, chat. Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne. Thank you, chat. Yo, it's really, you know, a very, very known thing in that world, the porn industry. You know, you can sit down, do a casting couch scene where you're trying to audition to be a movie star, like, and you know, you gotta go through the sexual act, or you gotta sleep with the producer or the cameraman or whatever. And that's all consensual because these like porn, well, I hope so, but they're porn scenes. You know what I'm saying? That's where I know casting couches from. So for this to be part of the press conference, like casting couches, and this ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch allegedly doing casting couches with all these young men for his own sexual pleasures and flying them in and paying them or whatnot. Listen, people, this right here is like the depiction of sex trafficking. This is what they're going to nail you to the wall for. And using your power to create that for yourself. Woo! Casting couches, B. Wow.
The message from today's prosecution is clear. Sexually exploiting vulnerable human beings is a crime. And doing so by dangling dreams of a future in fashion or modeling or any other business is no different. My office and our law enforcement partners will always prioritize standing up for victims, no matter their gender and no matter how powerful the wrong.
Yeah, not everybody can have their child doing the same job as them. Like, yo, we just saw a beautiful moment between LeBron James and his son. Check into the game. What was it? The second quarter, and they're sitting there on the sideline. They're both taking up their warm-ups, and the scene is epic. And they both get on the court together. It's like, and then Bronny gives the post-game interview. He's like, "This is one of the best things that the man upstairs can do for me." You know what I'm saying? While I'm still here doing my job, considering all the days I miss from my family while I'm working, being on the road and everything, because I work for the NBA, work with the NBA. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, a classic actor, a super A-lister, and your daughter is just, damn, dog. Yeah, that's tough.
Doers think they are. We will hold them to account. As we allege in the indictment, between 1992 and 2014, Michael Jeffries was the chief executive officer of Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie was a widely known clothing retailer with stores around the world. Aspiring fashion models knew that a place on one of Abercrombie.
Real quick. So he functioned with them and represented Abercrombie and Fitch, and probably did all these fake casting couch situations allegedly, and had people flown in, and he was taking advantage of his job and being a CEO and put himself next to all these model men and whatnot, and young guys and whatnot. Whatever floats your boat, man. I ain't here to denounce anybody based on their sexual preference. It is what it is. But the crazy thing about it, the timing. He stepped down in 2014. I'm looking at a piece of the article in the background too. In 2015, all of this supposedly ended. So somebody that powerful possibly could still be acting and charading like he's still affiliated or working that type of job. But this is how many years later? We're in 2024. This is 10 years later. Now, somebody tell me this isn't rolled up indirectly into the Diddy situation. You got a lot of people, these victims, it's more than a dozen at this point, and the feds and everybody's asking more people to call in. They gave an 800 number again, come forward. They want more people that possibly fall into these same type of allegations or are victims of the same type of BS, right? This is 10 years ago. And that's just as far as when he stepped down. Like, God knows how long he was doing it allegedly while he was there. 10 to 20 years then this could have spanned. So the victims are in the same position. They're saying the same things. I was scared to come forward. So what gave you the strength to come forward now? What motivated you finally in 2024 to come forward and say, you know what? I done been fondled. I done been taken advantage of. I done been awed. I done been sex trafficked. What inspired you to come forward and talk about those things now? Diddy. Like, and people think that this is all like this attack on the entertainment industry. Yes and no is my opinion right now. Like, I can see that, because it's like, yo, it's time to clean house to a degree. There's too much going on, man. And you got people on the good side of the gate too that could be affected by all this fuck shit. So it's like, I got to separate myself. And then once one of the major ball drops of Diddy, you got tons of people. Well, you still got the false accusations that's going to come. We got so many people that really went through this shit. Really went through this shit. And they like, okay, if this person could go at Diddy, I could go at the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, because this is the nasty, dirty side of the industry. And them same alleged casting couches that Diddy had people on, I was on them too, just underneath a different company and a different devil that was putting me there. You know what? You start making my phone calls and hitting up my lawyers. And this, so far, we didn't hear nothing civil about this guy yet. The civil stuff is really what brought about the federal stuff when the Cassie video and the Cassie filing went in on Diddy. And then all this stuff like Tony Busby and all the 150 people that he's representing, it's all civil. I didn't hear nothing civil yet about this guy, this Abercrombie and Fitch CEO. I'm only hearing this Fed indictment. And if you read it, the details in it, is nastier than what's in Diddy's indictment. And what's in Diddy's indictment ain't that crazy just yet. Like, of course, the Cassie thing, we've all seen that with our eyes, right? But all right, baby oil, right? That's funny. Okay, we running with that. What else? Freak offs you hear, maybe flying people in and whatnot. And maybe your own girl like Cassie, you recorded in the corner jacking off while somebody else is taking it down. Like you into that. Hey, cool. The stuff that's in this paperwork indictment, the word freaky don't really apply. It's like y'all are on some other. This guy, I mean, he don't got the name of I never heard of him before until yesterday. Never heard of him before. He don't got the name of Diddy. So things are definitely multiply because Diddy, the name, the big celebrity, the big face. But this guy shit in his indictment is even nastier than Diddy's. I mean, of course, the R word is flattens the playing field, but telling y'all.
These iconic ads could be the ticket to success in the modeling industry. But while Jeffries was the CEO of one of the most recognizable clothing retailers in the world, he was using his power, his wealth, and his influence to traffic men for his own sexual pleasure and that of his romantic partner, Matthew Smith. The charging documents describe
I gotta stop there. All right. He's using his job. We already spoke about this. We already mentioned this. Using his job, using his power, using his position to sell a dream to people that want to get into the industry, people that want to be models and whatnot. All right. So listen, I'm gonna beat up on the victims. I'm gonna back the victims, and I'm also gonna talk about the future after all of this. Okay. My backing of the victims first. It could happen to a lot of people. So I sympathize. A lot of people could be taken advantage of. A lot of people could be weak. A lot of people could be young. A lot of people could think that, this is my time. Like I'm going to make it and doing something I love. You get taken advantage of. People get taken advantage of every day, be in different forms. Sometimes at an extreme level, sometimes at a very, very small level, right? People get it taken advantage of every day, be. Okay. So that is my sympathetic side to things. My other side of things, where I'm just like, my victim beat up moment is like, yo, at what point do some of these people put their thinking cap on and say, is this really the process that I got to go through just to be a fucking model? Like, there's got to be, like, when you aspire to be something, 99.9% of the time you have an example in front of you. Like if I want to be an NBA player, maybe I grew up, I don't know, watching Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, and I might watch a Kobe Bryant DVD or a documentary and see that he's the only one that's in the gym 3 a.m. and he's putting up 1,000 free throws a day and he's in the gym getting strong and lifting weights and all that. And I'm kind of learning and I'm crafting like, okay, that I have to take a similar route if I want to be the next Kobe Bryant. Like, this can't be so left field. Like you just get totally shocked left field. Not everybody. I can't believe that. It's just like, where's your thinking cap? And they had a whole process where these people are getting scouted. It's like a form that you filling out and all that type of. I'm trying to get a job for Abercrombie and Fitch. This is the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. That right there within itself is supposed to be a ding. It's supposed to be an alarm. Like, I'm just a model. I'm trying to model. How the fuck am I in front of the CEO? The fuck? Like, I'll admit that makes a little bit more sense maybe in the music industry. I could see Diddy coming down 20 levels and not being an A&R or a talent scout or whatever and being in the room and be like, hey, you know what? You got some talent, man. Let's meet up. Let's talk. I could see that. The model industry? Like, what do you put? It's really just your look, no? You're not trying to be an actor. You're not trying to be a singer. Don't nobody got to, like, you got to wear the clothes and market the clothes and be in pictorial ads and maybe some commercials. And why the fuck would the CEO be fielding you? Why would I be here with the CEO? Why would the CEO then put me on the casting couch? Why is the CEO pull his dick out? Like, and if you keep going, then it's just like, this is what I got to do to be a model? And you still in your mind click like, all right, Like, where's the what point in all of this, from even walking out your door to catching that flight, at what point does some common sense click in? Right? Okay, so that I already sympathized. And then I came over here and I attacked. Now let me play neutral. Here's my third one. All right. Then we're gonna get back to the video. My neutral grounds. After 2024, I need to see less people that could play side one that we spoke about. 2024, even for the numbnuts of the world, is educating the shit out of y'all. This is like, I don't want to say worldly news. Maybe there's people in India that don't give a fuck about Diddy or some shit. I don't know. But this news is so big. Like watching Diddy go through this, and watching now this CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, former CEO, go through this. Like, you aspiring models and aspiring actors and aspiring musicians, you're still going to go right back on the same casting couches of the next CEO or the next record industry mogul, and still sit there and assume like, oh, I guess I got to just drink this drink or put on this baby oil when I walk into the white party, or I got to sit up on this couch or give some head or whatever. To you still, after watching all of this, right? Like at what point are people gonna like not even have that excuse? It's getting a little crazy, y'all. It's getting a little crazy, man. Like, we can't do this in 2025, people. We can't do this in 2025. I mean, if you are young and just your mind ain't developed like that yet, because we hear minors in certain situations, whatever, I get it, man. I can't get into 2025, man, and hear that some 28-year-old ended up on some casting couch talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to get a modeling gig. And is this what I need to do? Wake the fuck up, man. And at some point, too, you got to also learn that the industry is a dangerous place where people get taken advantage of once again every day, B. If you can't even learn how to move, then maybe you shouldn't even be applying for the job. Because by the time you get into the industry, especially if you move up the ladder, oh, it gets worse and worse and worse. You end up at them parties and maybe you start seeing things for the first time, or you end up in some new rooms or whatever. That's why I think all them guys up there got some dirt on them, because you learn and you see and you develop more and more shit. Ain't none of them people walking around squeaky clean. It's impossible. It's impossible. Even if they didn't do an act themselves, at least the type of stuff that they held water on, which to a degree at sometimes is like being supportive of a crime. Like, oh shit, you're like, yeah, I know Diddy did this, but you didn't call the cops, did you? No, you turn a blind eye to it. Right? So 2025, man, I wanted that to stop years ago, but I'm trying to give some rope here. Like, what are we gonna do?
Graphic and disturbing detail the violent and exploitive acts these defendants perpetrated, for which they will now face justice in a court here in the Eastern District of New York. So here's what's alleged in the indictment. Jeffries and Smith employed James Jacobson to act as a recruiter to find men. Jacobson engaged in, quote, tryouts with men across the world where he would typically pay them to engage in sex acts with him.
Tryouts.
Following the tryouts.
Hey, I'm gonna plant one for my people, my inner circle that go back to Port Richmond high school days with me. A Reem, a Rodney, a John, a Lawrence, a Shata, a Leon, a Met. Remember the Data Don shit? Remember the forms that we passed around the school? Fuck around, get in trouble with that shit these days, man. Niggas said this, they put a ring together. Oh my God, man. This shit really scares the shit out of me as a law-abiding citizen. Like, I'm not the only man in here. I know, fellas, I know y'all are seeing Diddy shit. Y'all are seeing all this other stuff going on and stuff like this. And even the stuff that you think is kosher, it makes you scared a little bit, right? Like, think about it. Boosie done had that whole thing going off and damn near supporting Diddy early on because he was like, damn, you can't fly a bitch out anymore. I did a little short to that, a little video to that. It's just like, Boosie, that's not what they mean. We're talking about like real legitimate sex trafficking and prostitution and sex workers, homie. That's not what we're talking about. But a lot of these guys are still fitting, if not getting real close to the bill, regardless. Why? Because these Instagram models and these back page girls and the sex workers or what. Y'all see that video that was on World Star Sukiyana? This girl's still out here rapping, doing social media, doing engagements, doing interviews and all that type of stuff, rubbing shoulders. Did y'all see that video that she was in with the alleged married guy or whatever? She walking around, but it's on World Star. It allegedly was just some sex working situation. Just, all right, here, pay for play. Allegedly. This is one of y'all artists that y'all are following and some people supporting and booking right now and all that type of shit. This shit is like rampant. This shit really, really is rampant. So back to the Boosie thing, Boosie looking at it like, damn, like, so if I just scroll my DM or scroll my IG one day, la-di-da-di-da, minding my business. All right, cool. Ooh, she bad as shit. You know what? I don't know who the fuck this is. Let me see if this is a real page. Let me see her followers. Let me see how long her page has been. Oh, no, this ain't no troll. This is a real page. I'm Boosie. You know what I'm saying? She probably 9 times out of 10, she probably know who I am. All right, boo. Let me send a DM. Hey, shorty, you looking good, blah, blah, blah. Where you stay at? I'm trying to meet you. Boom. Send. All right. Some of these girls will even DM you back talking about some, hey, if you send me X amount of dollars, I'm going to come. You know, like they'll do a damn near business transaction. Right. And technically, there's some sex trafficking, pay for play, prostitution, damn near type of shit. Like these girls aren't walking around calling themselves. I'm going to stay on my rant, y'all. The video ain't going nowhere. We ain't in a rush. If you're as old as me, when you think prostitution, you just think like the general view of it, of oh, it's some woman that's walking up and down the corners, you know, just getting her johns here and there, possibly got a pimp somewhere laid up that's providing some level of protection and mind manipulation, all that type of shit. Standard pimping. That's what you think of. Standard prostitution. That's what you think of. This is 2024, people. Everything has evolved. Everything. Prostitution, it's just like drug deals. You had to drive somewhere and go probably pull up on the corner and cop your whatever you was copping. Shit, free. I ain't even gonna say his name. Free him from battle. You know what I'm saying? And they saying there was some transactions happening in DM. It's a new world. Transactions is a different. You know, these women don't got to go stand out in Hunter's Point now. It could just be right here. They could be chilling in their crib, get a DM, exchange some information, $500. Okay, send me my car, send me my flight, send me what, and I'm there. How many days are you renting me for? You know what I'm saying? So back to what now started the initial shit and even bringing up the Boosie thing. Fellas, this is supposed to scare the shit out of us. It's supposed to. We're supposed to second guess, like, all right, if I flew her in, right, and we hung out for the weekend and I spent some money, or I maybe took her shopping and all that, it was a situation where, you know, I was well, I don't even know how you prove some of this type of shit in court. Right. But the communications, maybe that's the way to go about it. The communications can't be so vague and just, hey, shorty, was good. I like your pictures. Okay. $500. If you send me $500, I'll catch this flight and I'll come chill with you. Don't do it, fellas. Don't do it. Because technically that might be a charge. It could still be the same $500. I'm just freestyling this right now. I'm just thinking about, like, if I was judge and jury, right, what I wouldn't consider sex trafficking or prostitution or you being a John, right? Same $500 on the table. Hey, what's good, shorty? I'm digging you. Boom. Some courtship. Don't text me or DM me no numbers like it's a menu. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be a track of communication that looks, assuming, guess, just like regular, I'm digging you and you digging me, because going over the internet is fine now. Dating isn't face-to-face all the time now. Meeting people damn sure ain't face-to-face all the time now. You know what I'm saying? You got the internet and dating websites and IG and all that. You meet people on the internet every day. Cool. We accept that. But the communications can't be like a transaction. I'd never put myself in that situation where the communications is like a transaction. Them communications, if I ever had them communications, it gotta be on some old like, hey, I'm digging you. And if you get to the point where you also digging me or we digging each other, then we're just trying to link up and get together. And if I happen to spend some money on you, I happen to spend some money on you. But I damn sure ain't doing no damn transaction. I'm trying to link up with you. I'm digging you. And if that's gonna make you see it my way, I'll pay a certain amount. No, you're a John, B. You're a fucking John. That's prostitution, B. Like, hell no, I'm good. Fellas, be scared of this shit. It's going down out there, B. It's going down. Niggas get in trouble and clip for this shit.
With Jacobson, Smith would often then personally approve whether the men who were selected would meet Jeffries and Smith. The defendants would fly the selected men to Jeffries and Smith's homes in the Hamptons in New York City, or to hotels around the world in such places as England, France, Italy, Morocco, and St. Bart's, for the purpose of attending events to engage in commercial sex. But beyond...
Salute, homie. What I'm going to stop doing is I'm going to stop apologizing for my rants. And I know when I do apologize for my rants, I'll be saying it sarcastically, but that's part of a podcast. We are not a group, a clique, a podcast, a channel over here where when you click play, all it's going to be is like, hey, there's this video. Let me click play. And once the video is done, we out. Like, that's simple. Like, I have my opinions and I'm here to express them. And I also respect y'all opinions too. To me, it's more of an interactive podcast and platform that we are building here. So I know I'll be saying this sarcastically, but my rants is part of this shit. So appreciate everybody that's rocking with Sorry Is True, because that's what we all here for. That's what I'm here for too, man. I'll be venting. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all therapeutic for me too, man. Because I'm walking around getting frustrated at some of this shit. And then y'all hear me out and then it's fucking a weight off my shoulders.
On simply hiring men for sex, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson use force, fraud, and coercion to traffic those men for their own sexual gratification. For example, as alleged, the defendants employed a referral system and an interview process that did not inform the men of the details of the sex events before they attended.
A referral system. See, let me get serious for a second. Hey, whatever your name is, CEO of Abercrombie Fitch, allegedly you and your peoples that just got indicted behind this shit. That's reckless. That's reckless. You know when they tell you about like you know, if you're gonna do a crime, do it by your lonesome, right? And I know sometimes that's just not doable. Like sometimes you need more than one person involved in something. I guess. Hey, I'm just using common sense. I'm not a criminal or ex-criminal, y'all. Okay. But these people exercise two things, or they show me two things. It's a level of arrogance. We said that about Diddy. It's like, yo, you operating like this for 20 plus years. You're getting away with shit. You had the shooting at New York. You disrespecting people. You allegedly blowing cars up and slapping people and beating whatever, all types of stuff. You're getting away with it. Sooner or later, you start feeling like John Gotti. You start feeling Teflon. Right? You start mocking the feds. You start showing off for the newspaper headlines and all that, right? So I see the level of arrogance that gets created because these people, they have so much money, they have so many yes men, so many people around them abiding by their rules and following their shit, that they develop this sense of over empowerment as well as arrogance. And that's a disgusting formula to put on somebody. That money and that power trip that they be on and years of just doing what you want, right? Then the other side of it is just pure stupidity. And the reason why I say pure stupidity is because if you're setting up a referral system, things of that nature, you gotta assume that this type of shit, you got so many people involved that it's going to get out sooner and later. And I think they predicted that to the point where that's why they were paying people and signing NDAs. Okay. But what about your job? What about your professional ALICs? What about like it's gonna reach them too. You probably thinking like I'm this billionaire or CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, and this little model down here that's making $14, if that, an hour or per shoot, right? Per gig, maybe a couple hours of the day if they get hired for the gig. And here I'm blessing them with here, hold on to this $5,000, hold on to this 10 grand. And by the way, also sign this NDA while you're here. And I done already put you on the casting couch and have my way with you, right? Probably thinking like that little model or whatever, little 20-year-old model ain't going nowhere. I'm big dog out here, like whatever. But you got so much of this shit going on. That's why I say that's a level of stupidity. You set up a referral ring. That means that you're not even the one that's at least you or your right hand or the people that your core circle that you trust. Maybe allegedly the 3 people that got indicted. The core people that's part of this shit. Like, all right, you do it or I'll do it. No, you got a web effect. You tell this person that might tell this person that might tell that person, hey, I can go get $10,000 over there if you're willing to fly into whatever state or whatever country these niggas is hanging out at, whatever Epstein Island allegedly, sit on a casting couch for them, fuck around, land a job, get a quick check, all this, meet the CEO and all that, blah, 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 get wide-eyed and all that. Like, that's reckless. Be like, you probably got hundreds. This is why these people do these press conferences, the DA offices and all that. And this is why they do these press conferences and they got these 800 numbers. We be hearing these 800 numbers and be thinking like, damn, y'all doing too much. Like an 800 number. No, it'd be because they'd be like, all right, a dozen people came forward. And this shit then operated for 10, 20 years. There's a referral system. There's all types of people. There's already a class action lawsuit out there. I saw that one. Like I said, there literally can be hundreds and hundreds of people that know about this shit. There literally could be hundreds of people that done got down in this shit. Like, I see it. I get it. And that's where the reckless fucking thoughts come in. Like, how long is that gonna last, buddy? I mean, he's an old bastard. Now, you see the picture in his thumbnail? It don't even do justice of how old he is right now. I see he had like a $10 million bond, right? So even if he paid 10%, right? But he had a heavy bond that he posted. And I saw him leaving and walking into a car. The guy looks like he's in his 80s or some shit. He looks way older than even the picture in my thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks, but it's got to catch up to you sooner or later. And some people might say like, all right, well, he old, he lived his life or whatever. No matter what age you are, you don't want to go live in that box. Diddy's in his 50s. Technically, he done balled out and been a multi-millionaire / billionaire for 20, 30 years, maybe whatever. I don't mean that now that he's 54, 55 years old or whatever, he want to go sit in jail. Do you think Bill Cosby did good? And niggas don't want to sit in jail, no matter how old they are, B. Oh, man.
Including the full extent and nature of the sexual activity that would be required of the men at these events. They caused the men to believe that attending these sex events could yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise benefit their careers. Smith and Jeffries employed a secret staff to operate these sex events. The staff ensured that the men signed non-disclosure agreements and handed over their personal items, such as their phones, before the start of the events to maintain the secrecy of these events. The defendants caused the men to believe that not complying with requests for certain acts, sex acts during the events, could harm their careers.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't think there's anywhere that you could put me with the exception of a concert or a comedy show. And even that I violated. You could put me and force me to relinquish my phone. And not because I'm so hung up on the fact that damn near our whole lives is in here and passwords and apps that we use and all that type of stuff. We make money off of our phones, all of that. Just a text message or a phone call. That's just those two core regular functions that was there when cell phones first came out. For those two reasons right there, I don't want to give you my phone. Where was it? It was it Kevin Hart? I posted on my gram too. I went to a show this year. I think it was Kevin Hart. And I went to a Chappelle show where they did that as well. A Chappelle comedy show. I went to like 2 shows this year where they try to take your joint. One of them I couldn't get by. It was what it was. I had they put it in a pouch. You carry the pouch with you, and they got like this magnet or whatever that opens it when you're leaving out the doors. And the other one I went to, I slipped that shit away. When I got to the front, I was like peeping the front, where it's like the guy that was scanning, it was like a real weak. You know what I'm saying? It's like the way he was going about it was weak, and I was just like, I'm getting over on him. Like, nah, I ain't giving up shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't turning my phone. And not because I wanted to be in there to record and get an exclusive, which is why they tie everybody's phones up to begin with. No, just because I don't like to be without the opportunity to just send a text message or make a phone call. Now, those are places where I would still be comfortable. I pull up to State Farm or Phillips Arena or the Barclays or some shit, and I'm here to see Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart, and they on the road doing brand new material before their HBO or their Showtime or their Netflix special comes out. So they need the stuff to stay a secret. They need these jokes to stay under wraps. They can't have that. Everybody knows how rampant the internet is. They can't have these new jokes just coming out on Instagram and Twitch and all that while they're still on the road perfecting their craft before they even get to the special. So I'm comfortable pulling up on a Barclays or State Farm or whatever. And okay, cool. I'm okay with that. But imagine me going to a damn party. We done pulled up to the Hamptons for a white party with Diddy. And right before we getting on this boat, he taking everybody, the fuck out of here. I pull up on a comedy show. I'm just like, I get it. They got to protect the content. I pull up on a party and I'm like, no, y'all up to something. I'm either leaving or I'm something. I'm sneaking it, something. I'm not going to no party, no private party without my the fuck out of here. Hell no. You asking for it. You asking for it, B. That's another thing. We were just talking about in 2025. We got to stop people. Let's be educated. We see in these big news headlines, youngins of the world, aspiring artists of the world. We got to stop. By the time we get to 2025, thinking that these motherfuckers got y'all down on y'all hands and knees just so you could possibly get a modeling gig or something like that. 2025, we got to stop that. So let's add this to the pot. 2025 people, if you're pulling up on a party, it's some Diddy white party or the Abercrombie Fitch CEO, whatever, got some photo shoot he's doing, some private photo shoot that he flew you in for. Once again, the CEO flew you in, right? And he talk about, phones, by the way, red alert, people. Red alert. Red alert. I ain't going to nobody. I wish I'll go to somebody's crib and they'd be like, yo, cell phones got to get checked at the door. I'm like, y'all up to something. I'm going the other way. I'm out. I'm going home. Pour me a glass of wine. Put me on a movie. I'll wait and watch the news tomorrow to see whatever happened at that address, because y'all on some shit.
The defendants pressured the men to consume alcohol, Viagra, and muscle relaxants known as poppers during the sex events. And they required the presence of staff during the sexual activity and ensured that the men did not leave the sex events until Jeffries and Smith decided that the sessions were over. Damn. Also, as alleged, on more than one occasion, Jeffries and Smith either directed others to inject or personally injected men with an erection-inducing substance for the purpose of causing the men to engage in sex acts the men were incapable of engaging in or unwilling to engage in. Additionally, the indictment alleged.
What you mean unwilling? So you either made them inject themselves or you injected them so that they could participate in willingly or unwillingly? What the hell is going on? And what are y'all up? What? I can't even fathom but if you do it, or even if I'm still the one with so then and then I ended up here for a photo shoot.
Alleges on more than one occasion when men did not or could not consent Jeffries and Smith violated the bodily integrity of these men by subjecting them or continuing to subject them to invasive sexual and violent contact by body parts and other objects. As alleged in the indictment, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson didn't just carry this activity on for a couple of occasions. Their sex trafficking and prostitution enterprise lasted at least from the end of 2008 until early 2015. During that period, the defendants hired dozens of men and transported them to New York and around the globe. They spent millions of dollars on a massive infrastructure to support this operation and maintain its secrecy.
Let me jump to this other quick topic when I mentioned Diddy earlier, and also another reason why I put him in the thumbnail. This ain't good for Diddy for obvious reasons, right? It's not good for his lawyer neither. Once again, his lawyer came out, did TMZ and all that, took a public position, played real early, played a Trump card, played a race card, right? Played a race card. This is an attempt to take down a black man. And then how long ago was it since he got indicted? Diddy? Less than a month, right? Less than a month later, it's a white man taken down for similar shit. Very, very similar shit, allegedly, right? That don't look good. That don't look good for Diddy and his lawyer. It also don't look good for Diddy and his lawyer because it gives the public, because the court of public opinion is strong, as the people from public court opinion is the ones that end up being jurors, right? During the jury selection, even though they get filtered out pretty well, but these people have still got eyes and ears out here in the public, and they got internet access, don't they? But it don't look good for the court of public opinion, because this shit starts to further make people feel like this is common. This is the norms. Because when we hear Abercrombie and Fitch CEO, that's not entertainment. That's not the entertainment industry. That's not music, which is what had this spotlight this whole time. This is fashion. This is the clothing world, right? And then later on, if somebody comes out from the food industry with the same shit, you know what I'm saying? A Red Lobster CEO or some shit, right? You just start to make people process that much more like, what is it with men in power? What is it with billionaires? What is it with these super multi-millionaires that already bought everything other than humans and shit? You know what I'm saying? And it becomes common. People even get desensitized to it. They become less standoffish to accusations. You hear something like this, it sounds outlandish and wild when it's Diddy, the first time it happens in 2024. But let us hear in 2027 that somebody had 5,000 bottles of baby oil. We're gonna go like, and been there, done that. You get desensitized to this shit. And just this fast for another similar situation of a big wig to be caught out there with this. And yet Diddy and Diddy's lawyer like, fuck. It looks bad. It looks bad, man. It's like energy travels together. You're on the block and you got the mid-range crib and everybody else got the big mansions or whatever. Your value goes up too. The shit sticks to, it moves in together. And this is like the court of public perception and this type of shit of these accusations and the sex trafficking, the sex workers, and even homosexuality, right? So we're already in society at a place where that don't really make people go, oh my, I'm an old man, yo. I come from an era where being of a different sexuality was shocking. It's like, you were what? It was shocking. This was an era when comedians could joke about that and use the F word, not fuck, like the F word and all that. Like Fat Joe had to clean that type of stuff up, right? Didn't he get grabbed up? Look at Kevin Hart. They came back for him for some old shit. Took him off the award show. Or he dropped out of it or whatever because he didn't want to triple apologize, right? Look at Eddie Murphy. Them old stand-up comedies, Delirious and Raw. You can't talk like that today. So I feel like even somebody's sexual preference, we're at a place now in society where it's just like, all right, cool. But even I'm still watching the evolution of somebody that's presented at a heterosexual. That's still shocking to people. The closet guys. That is still shocking to people. Because now we see in all this allegations of like men coming out with these same suits on Diddy and whatnot. And it's just like you really are bi this whole time. You really are allegedly, right? It still feels a little shocking. Like, damn, Diddy, you really on that? It's a little shocking. This guy right here, allegedly, there's no women in that is filed so far. And every time they reference his lover or his life mate, they're posing it as a man, right? So he's appears to be 100% homosexual. So now you tie that into this type of shit where we're just like, damn, sex workers and sex trafficking and prostitution of this level, and these big multimillionaires coordinating this stuff and putting out referral systems and having secret staff coordinate the freak offs and all this type of stuff and stashes of baby oil. And then when you hear men involved, you're like, damn, what the? A month later, this guy gets indicted and it's all men, all male models. Once again, that hurts Diddy. If you keep it up, my whole point, it hurts Diddy and his lawyer, because it's just like, yo, even that, we start to like, oh no, I get it. Like, this is common. This is common. So now when we got somebody that files a suit that says Diddy awed me and it's a man, initially we just like, Diddy ain't out here awing no men. A man ain't awing no man. And then the shit is all over the place. We hearing this type of shit. It's like, damn, like all these guys in the fashion industry is saying this shit too. Somebody that came out from the food industry too. Yeah, Diddy, you are capable of doing it because it's becoming common. Cat Williams, man.
This included hundreds, thousands of dollars of cash for commercial sex, prolific amounts of money for staff to run the sex
events. Hundreds?
Money for domestic travel, international travel, hotel rooms, services from a security company, and Jacobson's salary, among other things. Now, this investigation remains ongoing. Although there are 15 John Does identified as victims in this indictment,
John Does, men.
This interstate prostitution venture encompassed dozens and dozens of men. And I encourage anyone with information about this case, including anyone who was a victim of the defendant's alleged crimes, to contact the FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, I want to thank the victims who have already come forward.
He's gonna get more people. They're gonna get more people. 100%. I'm already being desensitized to the 1-800 numbers. Look, you see, my own point I just made applies to me too. It's crazy, B.
For sharing their stories. Prosecutions like this are really impossible without the bravery of victims who are willing to report what happened to them to law enforcement. With this office, the Department of Justice and its law enforcement partners will continue to work tirelessly to protect victims from powerful individuals who use their wealth and their influence to exploit and harm others for sexual gratification. In addition to my team, I'd like to give special thanks to FBI Special Agent Amanda Young and NYPD Detectives Paul Byrne and Antonio Pagan, who have worked hard on this investigation in the pursuit of justice.
I wonder how long this investigation was going before the indictment came down. I want to find that detail. Chat, if y'all ever find it, tweet it to me, DM it to me. If you got it right now, drop it in the chat. I'm curious. How long was this investigation going on this guy before they said, all right, we got enough indictment time? I wonder. Or sometimes I don't know if they always say. They may not always put that out there. It continues to kill me. Fellas, let me talk to y'all for a second. I see a bunch of my ladies in the building today. I really appreciate the ladies holding it down today, man. I see my ladies heavy today, man. See my ladies today. I appreciate y'all. But fellas, let me chop with y'all for a second. Some of y'all may have experienced this, especially when we were younger, man, and nice and vibrant and energetic and more handsome, right? I used to look way better when I was young. I was 10 times more handsome when I was young. Now it's ARP. Who cares? But some of us experienced, man. Yeah, we had them easily. When I was I started dating in 5th grade. Okay. Maybe 4th grade. Definitely 5th grade. Melissa Lita, what up? That was my first girlfriend, 5th grade. Call her name. We definitely follow it. She definitely follows me on IG. If you ever see this, love, what up? 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. By the time I got into high school, man, like some of us come from that time where we had a starting roster, well, not even 5. Like you got 10, 20 girls you trying to keep in touch with or whatever. Got house parties, got all this type of shit going on. All these years, man, when we was killing high school and even after high school, even before my college years, right? Even right before my college years, like it was up for a lot of us. Women a dime a dozen. And I said all of this to lead up to this key point. We were broke. We were broke as shit. My first car was a Hyundai Elantra, 1992 Hyundai Elantra. Bought it for like $800 out of a junkyard. The transmission was fucked up, and I had to take it to Amago to pay like another $1,200 to get the transmission rebuilt. My boys know about this shit. And then I took it to I said Amaco or whatever one, and I took it to Mako, to get it painted because it was all fucked up. Like a $2,000 like refurbished car. Bought out of a junkyard. My first car I bought out of a junkyard. My man Reem had a Jetta, little box Jetta that his cousin gave him, and he put some rims on it. This was back at a time when even if we was lucky enough to get cars, the sound systems and the radio systems cost more than the fucking cars. The rims cost more than the cars. I eventually put some little rims on my Hyundai too. If you take my sound system and my rims, it costs more than the fix-up and the car itself. We was broke as shit, B. Fast food every day. McDonald's was one of our McDonald's was the best place. You know what I'm saying? We giving each other gas money to go places and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who got 5? Or you're sitting in the back seat. You don't got $2 for me? Literally collecting $2 here, $5 here from your friends. You sit down at a fucking restaurant, bill comes as $100, and you argue. No, you ordered the soda. No, you ordered the soda. We was moving around even when we had little cars and shit. We broke as shit. Made it all look good. Made all them 12s look like 20s. We made it look good as shit. And still had them a dime a fucking dozen. Chapter 2. Add money to that? Add serious money to that? You know, you got some guys that just be like, yo, don't chase the women, just chase the money, because when you got the money, the women just comes automatically. Sheesh. Like, some guys had it regardless. They was good. The way that they dressed, their aura, the way they talked, their personalities, the way that they looked, they had it. We had it. But add money? And this is why I look at like the Diddies of the world. Like I'm very secure of myself. I say I don't gotta withdraw certain types of statements just because y'all want to play the no homo in the pause game out there. Diddy's not an ugly guy. Diddy's a handsome guy. I can say it. I don't care. I'm very secure of myself. Diddy's a handsome guy. Not ugly guy at all. And he's a billionaire. How does somebody in that spot, unless you just got a screw or two that's really, really missing, or anybody in the world? That's what I said about the Macy's shit that I thought was bullshit. I didn't like that story. But let's say hypothetically and allegedly it was true, right? Just for the example that we're making. A billionaire that can pick up his phone and have 50 people meet him at Macy's right now and walk into the back stock room with him and let him take him down. But you walk into the back room to aura man while your security guard is back there with you and you there handling business. It just is like, it's insane to me. This Abercrombie and Fitch guy is no different. Now, maybe there's an element where it's just like, we have so much money, we deal in convenience. I'm trying to find areas to rationalize this shit outside of power tripping. Okay. Stay with me. I spend a lot of money on Uber Eats and Grubhub. I could have like $100 lunch and then like $150 dinner and buy extra shit and just to taste shit or whatever and dessert and all. I spend a lot of money on food deliveries. I also give like, significant tips. I got this thing where I'll be thinking like, if I don't give a decent tip, the next time somebody can come my order, like they might play my. I always give good tips on Uber Eats and Grubhub and shit. But I spend a lot of money on food delivery, man. I eat out a lot. I don't really cook. I pretty much never cook. I eat out almost every day, multiple times a day. Convenience is the point that I'm making. If you're a sex fiend, right? Do you want to do what me and my homies was doing back when we was young, or even when we got to the point where we had some money? You want to go meet some women, you take your ass out to the city, find you a nice spot or whatever, you mingle, you socialize, you introduce yourself to people. Maybe people even introduce themselves to you. You socialize, you meet women. We used to have club runs where we would challenge each other and bet who leaves with the most numbers. How many numbers you got? I got 8. How many numbers you got? I got 12 numbers. How many numbers you got? Oh, you lying. Like all of that. Used to socialize. Then when we had money, so the convenience factor of it, y'all don't want to go out and just meet people like you're a billionaire, you're the CEO of Abercrombie Fitch or whatever. And I guess you could just say, deliver me this crop of boys this weekend. Or that model that I just seen right there on this Instagram post or this magazine over here, deliver him to me next week. This is the only rationale that I have for it. Is that some of it is your own convenience. And in doing so, you're dealing with a lot of people that wouldn't fuck with you under any other circumstances. So that's where the money comes in. That's where the bribes come in. That's where the signed NDAs come in and all that type of shit. And these guys obviously don't want to stick around. It's just like, like we have this whole referral system to bring these handsome guys in for the weekend, and then let's ship them back off to where they at, right? So the convenience factor of it, I guess, your referral system is Grubhub, right? How else, chat? How else do I rationalize somebody that has everything at the touch of a button? A text message away. They're millionaires and billionaires. How else can I rationalize, especially if they're not nutty, why you go out your way to get yourself in trouble? Why would this person really walk into the back room in Macy's and just awe somebody when he can have 50 of them show up consensually? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't want to keep running down this rabbit hole of saying that disgustingly there's people in the world that actually get off from R-ing people because it's the power trip element, right? I told y'all like last week or the week before, I said I watched that movie on Blink Twice. That's supposed to be like a replication of like the Epstein Island or whatever. It's one of the first movies I've ever seen that had a trigger warning in the beginning of it. You know how we see like PG and rated R in the beginning of the movie? This shit had a whole paragraph of words saying trigger warning because of the R-ing that was happening. I've never seen a movie do that before. And there are scenes like that in there. They're not graphic scenes where you see like naked body parts and everything, but it's still intense enough to be like, oh, wow. Something you wouldn't want kids to watch at all. You know what I'm saying? So look at that movie, Blink Twice. You got your own island. You need to awe people. It's like doing it for sport. Doing it for sport. Let me say this bugged out shit before we get up out of here. I'm a big fan of George Carlin. Rest in peace. George Carlin, he used to be prophetic with people's nuttiness. He said, man, I'm waiting for people to bring guns into church and shoot up churches. It happened later on, right? It happened later on. And when you think about the wild nature of these fucking people, man, and I say art imitates life. You ever see the movie like Hard Target with Claude Van Damme, right? Another one is it's a more current movie, The Hunt, right? Or how about Hunger Games? That's a popular one. Now y'all know the point that I'm making, right? The Hunt, Hunger Games, or Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme. These are people with money or power, and they just bored as shit, and they set up hunting situations. They just enjoy killing humans. They get off doing it, and they always are represented by powerful, rich people doing it, right? If George Carlin was here, you know what he'd tell y'all? He'd say, like, yo, that's either happening or will happen soon. All it takes is some bunch of millionaires with money, and they do exactly what that was depicted in the movie Hard Target. Go find me a bunch of people that aren't anybody in the world, don't have any family or friends or people that have missed them. And we're going to offer them 10, 20, 30, $40,000. All they got to do is make it to the finish line over there. But they're going to be hunted in the process. Art imitates life, man. I ain't trying to get deep with y'all, but I'm getting desensitized to the point where I'm just like, maybe you just don't got to be crazy. We're sitting here on this podcast finding rationale as to why a billionaire who probably got women a text message away would R anybody. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. If I'm reaching for straws, then y'all let me know. But I'm out of ideas. You know, we're going to keep watching these motherfuckers in the meantime. Sorry, it's true.